Gusodor Smart LED Strip Lights, RGB waterproof for indoor and outdoor use with music sync and 16 million colors. You're probably here because you saw these on Amazon, listed currently for $26.99, but with some price fluctuations all the way down to $22.99, these are a pretty high rated set of smart LED strip lights. Currently, they have just under 7,500 reviews on Amazon, averaging about a 4-star rating. But as someone that has reviewed many LED strip lights as well as smart LED strip lights, let's see if these are worth the cash. We will go right into the box where we find our power supply linked to the controller, which is already plugged into the light strip, one reel of them, and there is a second reel, which is fairly surprising because usually these are all separated and you have to put them together yourself. In addition, there is a remote, which is 24 keys, and then 2 things of mounting hardware, which I really appreciate because usually companies like this cheap out on the mounting hardware. Set of directions with a QR code to download the app because these lights are app controlled via Bluetooth. Let's get these strip lights set up. I will begin by plugging in the power supply. In total, there are 32 feet of LED strips here that are powered by this power supply, which outputs a total of 32 watts. Let me double check that. That might be wrong. Oh, it's 34. And outputs 34 watts. I am a little disappointed that this power cord is so short, but thankfully they make up for it on the end that goes from the power supply to the controller. It's gonna turn on. Oh, there it goes. I'm gonna unplug this so I can undo the strip from the reel. These plug in via a 4-pin connector, which is pretty standard for most LED light controllers that you purchase on Amazon. I will say that I am pretty impressed with the construction of the actual strips themselves. When you're plugging in the strip to the controller, there are 2 arrows, one on the strip and one on the controller. You have to have those aligned. If you have it flipped, these will not power on. So there is one set. And boom! As easy as that, we have these powered on. I'm going to change the color so Jack and Lucas don't yell at me. Let's talk about the quality of the actual RGB LED strips themselves. These strips are 50-50, meaning that the surface mount device, the SMD, is 5 millimeters by 5 millimeters, and they feature a trifecta chip, meaning that they have an RGB diode, one of each, a red, green, and blue diode, not a white. These are not RGBW, meaning that they don't have a white diode on each chip. It is just the RGB for red, green, blue. What separates these LED light strips from most LED light strips that I see in this price range on Amazon are the fact that the strips themselves are covered in epoxy, making them smooth, but in my opinion, making them look a lot cleaner than just the bare LED light strip. The epoxy not only makes for a better look, but also makes these more durable in the long run and less likely to break, especially if they're being bent for a long duration of time. That said though, these will not bend as easily as just a standard LED strip without an epoxy covering. These can be cut to size, so if 32 feet is too much for your use case, you can simply snip at one of the snip lines located on the strip. There is tons of adhesive included in the packaging, which I am very excited about. In most cases, the adhesive that they include on the back of these lights is absolutely atrocious. Let's give this a test peel and see what happens. It doesn't have any branding on the back, but usually I can do the good old, stick my finger to it thing and see if it gets stuck, and that'll be a pretty decent judge of whether this will stick or not. All right, got it undone. I mean, it didn't stick to my face, but this does stick to my fingers relatively well, which I'm giving a good rating compared to most LED strips that I've seen. This back adhesive, not something to go and tell your mom about, but it will get the job done. In addition to the adhesive that they include on the back of the LED strips, they also include these rolls, and they do include clips in the packaging, 4 for each strip. Personally, if they could include double this in the packaging, I would be much more satisfied, but I think this is sufficient for most use cases. Let's talk more about the functionality. There are 3 ways that you can control these RGB LED strip lights. That is through the wall-mounted controller. Yes, there is a sticky patch even for this. This will allow you to turn it on and off, go through the different modes, speed, colors, etc. Then there is the remote, which lets you go through the colors. Sorry if I had it on green, Jack. Like so. We can adjust the speed of the transitions and the brightness, which I'm doing now. There are music sync modes, which... Hey, what are you doing? Hello, hello, hello. There are 2 music sync modes that can be accessed from the remote. Let's take a look. Hello, hello, this is one of them. Let's see what this one does. Yeah, this one seems to say more solid colors, and the other one has more transitional colors. I don't know if that's actually the difference. Either way, the music mode works, obviously because the microphone is right here. That's not what you came to see though. You came to see me use the app with these things, so I will get them on a solid color with my Bluetooth enabled. Holy cow, how did this already... I kid you not. I just started the app on these and they connected. I don't know if this is because I actually did have the Lotus Lantern app installed on my phone for a previous set of LED lights that we did review, but right now I honestly just popped on my phone and they must have a similar Bluetooth receiver and I can just go and control this right away. Let's do some more investigating. From this app though, I can adjust brightness, as you can see I'm doing now. I can cycle through those 16 million colors that they advertise. Additionally, we can go into the style section and use some of these different features. The music section, which I can play, I don't know, a song that they have here. Yeah, that's enough of that. I prefer the music mode that utilizes the microphone in the controller itself. That's probably what you'll be using most of the time. There's a mic mode where I can use the phone mic or the external mic. And last but not least, a schedule function, which I like for waking up in the morning. You can set these to turn on and then wake you up with some light. I live in a northern climate, which means that usually we don't get a lot of daylight in the winter. This really helps me get up in the morning. Other than that, I really don't have any other thoughts on these LED strip lights. Overall, I'd say for the price, these are definitely comparable, if not above average, in the Smart RGB light department. The only gripe I have with them is that they're not able to be synced with your Wi-Fi, and thus they can't be used with your Amazon Alexa or your Google Home device. You have to have your phone or the remote or the controller to get these things fired up, since they aren't Wi-Fi enabled. If you have any further questions on these LED light strips, please let us know in the comment section below. We have reviewed an absolute metric ton of LED lights and will continue to do so. So what that means is we should be able to answer your question. If you do decide to purchase these lights, please use the link in the description below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content. That's all I have for today, folks. We'll catch you in the next one. Bird out.